Hello friends, welcome you all. In last lecture we are discussed the reinforcement function of reinforcement and the advantages of reinforcement. Now in this lecture we are discuss the use of IS 456 2000. So this IS 456 2000 entitled the code of practice of plain and reinforced concrete. Okay, and this standard deals with the general structural use plain and reinforced concrete. Okay, so besides the special requirement of the structures like shell, plate, arches, bridges, chimney, then hydraulic structures or liquid retaining structures covered in a different standard, the requirement in these IS 456 shall also be used in conjunction. It gives the extensive information on the various aspects of concrete. So it contains mainly 5 sections and 8 annexures. So first section is general, second is material workmanship, that is inspection and testing, and third one is the general design consideration, fourth is special design requirement for structural member and system, and lastly the structural design, that is limit state method. So using this IS 456 2000 we get the various IS specification for designing the slab, beam, column, footing. Okay, that is related to the various aspect of concrete. Okay, it gives the extensive information. So next point is the steel grades. Different steel grades are used in a design of design of RCC section. First one is the Fe250, that is mild steel. Second one is the Fe415, that is taut steel, and third one is the Fe500, that is also taut steel. So these three general steel grades we are using for the design consideration. First, Fe250, that is mild steel, now become obsolete, or we are using only for the distribution steel. Okay, so we are generally using these two, that is Fe415 and Fe500 grade steels. Okay, it means what? This grade Fe500 means the characteristic compressive strength of this steel is 500 Newton per mm square. Okay, so sorry, the yield strength of this uh, steel is 500 Newton per mm square. The advantage of What are the advantages of steel as a reinforcement? Let us see first. The tensile strength of steel is very high. It can also good bond with concrete. Then the its coefficient of thermal expansion is nearly equal to that of concrete, and that is coefficient of thermal expansion is nearly equal to that of concrete means uh, why we are using only steel as a reinforcement, because the due to this thermal expansion of coefficient of thermal expansion of this steel is nearly equal to the concrete, the cracks, that is due to the thermal expansion, that is shrinkage cracks, will not develop, okay, on the surface of that concrete, because the coefficient of both the steel and concrete is nearly equal. So therefore we are using only steel. Okay, we are not using the other material, that is copper or other, which are uh, costly also, but the main factor is that the bond between the steel and concrete is very good, as uh, other materials uh, thermal expansion is greater or less than the concrete, it not get well bonded to the concrete. So steel is the very nearly coefficient of thermal expansion to the concrete, so it gives a good bond to the concrete. So these are the advantages of a steel as a reinforcement. Next is the limit state. What is limit state? uh, the acceptable limit of the safety and serviceability of the structure before failure occurs. It's called as a limit state. That is, the structure gives the warning before its failure. That is, we are confirming, or we are using the safety and serviceability parameter here. Okay, the structure should be safe and serviceable and also economical. So for this purpose we are using this limit state method. So what are the types of limit state? There are two types of these limit state in RCC, that is collapse and serviceability. Limit state of collapse and limit state of serviceability. So this limit state, generally concept of the design with limit state is to achieve the acceptable probabilities so that the structure will not become a unfit for a use or will not reach a limit state. So this limit state of collapse is reached when structure as a whole or a part of the structure collapses. Okay, so the collapse may occur due to the rupture of one or more members or an account of formation of mechanism, or due to the elastic or inelastic stability, or from loss of equilibrium. So these collapse may occur. The limit state is take care of by providing resistance is greater than the forces to which it is subjected, and keeping a margin of safety through the safety factors. Okay, that is a partial safety factors. So these limit state corresponds to the this limit state of flexure, limit state of compression, limit state of collapse in shear, limit state of collapse in torsion. So it design the structure in such a way that it should be avoid this collapse due to this flexure, compression and shear and torsion. Okay, next is the limit state of serviceability. This limit state of serviceability is related to what? To the satisfactory performance of the structure at working loads. Okay, so this is mainly categorized into the deflection, cracking and vibration. This excessive deflection, okay, possesses number of problems to the structure. Okay, hence it should be ensured that the actual deflection is less than the maximum allowable deflection, or the further simplified by prescribing the maximum span to depth ratios. Okay, next is the excessive cracking. This excessive cracking spoils the appearance of the exposed surface, creates the leakages problem, and reduces the stiffness of the member. Okay, and this vibration also forming these cracks. Okay, so this serviceability factor is also important one, which gives the satisfactory performance of your structure. Next is the characteristics value, that is the first is characteristic strength. So what is meant by characteristic strength? It is the value of the strength material below which not more than 5% of the test results are expected to fall. Means what? It means uh, characteristic strength has the 95% reliability. Okay, or there is only 5% of probability of actual strength being less than the characteristic strength. So here we can see some characteristic strength of concrete and steel grades. Okay, so here M20, in this M20, M refer for mix and 20 is refer for characteristic compressive strength of that material after 28 days when we are tested under the CTM or UTM. Okay, so this is the concrete grade and this is the steel grades. Okay, so that is the 95% reliability and only a 5% probability that the structure or the actual strength being less than the characteristic strength. Okay, next is the characteristic load. So this characteristics load means what? A value of load has a 95% probability of not being exceeded during the life of the structure. Okay, means these we know the what types of loads are coming on the structures, that is the various critical load combinations of dead load, live load, or the wind load. Okay, or erection load or earthquake load or snow load. So the worst combination of the load, the characteristics load we are taken, that is the 95%, it should not be exceeded during the life of that structure. Okay, that is the characteristics load, that is the load which has the 95% probability of not being exceeded during the life of that structure. So this is all about today's lecture. Hope you will understand the today's session